Thousands of workers from Texas and several other states go on strike. We have a look at the devastating impact that could happen on the economy.
The two men running for vice president will face off in their only debate of the year tonight. We'll show you what to expect.
October is here, and that means it's time to celebrate Oktoberfest. We have a preview of all the fun happening here at UNT.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining ntTV News at Noon. I'm Landry Brady.
And I'm Anissa Bender. People across the country could feel some new economic pain after tens of thousands of dock workers went on strike early this morning. Workers at ports in Texas all the way up to Maine are demanding better pay and an extended ban on fully automated equipment. Experts say if the work stoppage goes more than a few weeks, it could lead to higher prices and delays in items reaching homes and businesses across the country. Workers say they will stay on strike as long as they need to in order to get a fair contract.
A 2 to 3 day strike will take 2 weeks to clear. A 1 week strike will bring us into November, and then 2 week strike will bring us into early next year before those containers and ships will be processed.
All cargo from our large carriers will be interrupted until we can actually secure a contract. Our members have done the homework. They know their worth, and essentially they demand fair wages and better benefits.
This is the first time dock workers have gone on strike in the U.S. since 1977. The White House says it is working to keep negotiations going between the two sides.
The death toll from Hurricane Helene continues to rise, with more than 130 people confirmed dead. People in the hardest hit areas are still struggling to get food, water, and other necessities. CNN's Evan Donovan has the latest from the western North Carolina, where people in one tourist town are promising to rebuild.
Right here, my daughter went in.
Derek Hennessy is describing what used to be his deli, attached to the Carter Lodge, which he just spent the past 14 months renovating.
We bought a place here to come here and retire and relax. Unfortunately, it's just catastrophically unsafe.
On Friday, he watched from one of its rooms as his deli sank into the river, along with most of Chimney Rock Village. Beloved family-friendly spots ravaged by floodwaters. For those of y'all familiar with Chimney Rock Village, you can see just what's left of it behind me. Not much. But if you pan across the water, you can see the devastation of people's homes.
It's been heartbreaking.
Mayor Peter O'Leary told me the town's economy is 100% tourism, and it's 100% gone.
Everything that you sort of take for granted has been washed away, literally. And every single building, every single business in town has been either destroyed or severely damaged.
The Bubba O'Leary's General Store is now sitting on its side. Balconies that overlook the waterfront now sit over slabs of concrete and broken pieces of road. The remnants of a tourist town that will sit empty for the next few months at least. But the people here vow to bounce back and reclaim their piece of paradise.
The life in Chimney Rock is strong, okay? Like the rocks. Boulders may be moved, but we will come back together.
The damage will likely take several weeks to repair. President Biden is expected to travel to North Carolina tomorrow to survey the devastation.
Thankfully, we have not had a storm like that hit Texas, but it looks like we are not out of that hot weather just yet, Landry.
No, we're not, and I'm sure our weather anchor Mauricio Ortiz-Seguera has more to tell us. Mauricio?
That's right, guys. We are not getting any stormy weather here, but it is nice and clear. However, it is still very warm. Here we see it's 87 degrees with it feels like 88, so a little negligible on that, with 11 miles per hour wind speed. So it's going to be a bit windy, so watch out for, I guess, if you want to keep your hair nice. If we go on to tonight's conditions, of course, 89 degrees, going to feel like 89, so nice and consistent there. And a 13 mile per hour wind speed, so the wind will be picking up later tonight. However, if we go on to tomorrow's conditions, it's going to be 80 degrees and it's going to feel like 80, so it's going to be just a little bit cooler, still nice and sunny out, so you can go take a nice walk if you just want to get outside. And of course, 4 mile per hour wind speed, so No real worry about the hair there. Stick around in case you want to see the full weather report later today. Back to you guys at the desk.
If you want to vote in next month's presidential election, the deadline to register is almost here. Luckily, you can take care of that right now here on the UNT campus. Our reporter Chloe Marshall is here to explain. Chloe?
Thanks, Marissa. If you've been waiting until the last minute, there's an easy way for you to register by the deadline without having to leave campus. The grassroots group, powered by the people, is helping students to register. Their work began yesterday morning. The group is here at UNT today through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. right outside of the Union. Don't miss out on your chance to vote. Make sure your voice is heard this election. Well, guys, that's all I have for you. Back to you at the front desk.
Thanks, Chloe. Tonight, voters will see two vice presidential nominees face off in their only debate. The matchup between Democrat Tim Walz and Republican J.D. Vance could be the final debate before the election, which is 5 weeks from today. CNN's Brian Abel has more from a preview from New York.
Tonight, the high-stakes undercard battle between vice presidential nominees, Democratic Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Republican U.S. Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio. The first and only scheduled debate between the two, with both campaigns trying to win over undecided voters in the final leg of this election. The CBS-moderated debate will be 90 minutes, with both candidates getting 2 minutes for closing arguments. No pre-written notes allowed. The Harris-Walz campaign signaling early they want this debate to be about the issues they believe played to their advantage.
J.D. Vance, who's about to be on the debate stage, came out and announced what that plan was, and it was putting people with pre-existing conditions back into these high-risk pools that cost them more money and could actually eliminate their health care coverage.
The Trump-Vance campaign in a press call using a similar tactic.
He won't let him get away with it. From the border to the economy to American leadership on the world stage.
The presidential nominees and the president showing confidence in the performances of their party's VP nominees ahead of the showdown.
Mr. President, any advice for Tim Walz on Tuesday? Did you offer him any personal advice?
No, he doesn't need it. Oh, well, we've been speaking a little bit back and forth. I think he's in good shape.
In New York, I'm Brian Abel reporting.
If you're voting here in Texas, two of the candidates near the top of your ballot will face off in a debate stage soon. Republican Senator Ted Cruz is running for a third term, but he's facing a tough challenge from Democratic Congressman Colin Allred. The two men will debate here in North Texas on Tuesday, October 15th. Polls show that it is a tight race, with Cruz and Allred separated by only a point or two. The debate will take place exactly 3 weeks before Election Day.
There are tributes across the country today as former President Jimmy Carter hits a milestone. He has become the first American president to reach his 100th birthday. Mr. Carter was the 39th president serving from 1977 to 1981. After he left office, he became a Nobel Prize-winning humanitarian. He has been famous for his work with the group Habit for Humanity, as well as his efforts leading the Carter Center. Jimmy Carter has been in hospice care at his home in Georgia since early last year.
Still to come, an alarming new report that younger women need to hear. We'll explain what researchers have found.
And later, it's time to have some October fun right here in Denton. We'll preview all the festivities that are happening with Oktoberfest.
The do's and don'ts of the Pole Rec Center. See that man over there? Please do not hog weights. Instead, do this. Another important part is having an attentive spotter. See, here is an example of a non-attentive spotter. Instead, do this. Now we head to the track, which should be pretty easy, just it's important to pay attention to the way the track goes. Remember to wipe down the equipment after you're done using it. The towels are provided by the gym, so it's pretty easy to wipe down the equipment when you are done. Thank you for using the Pole Recreation Center.
Has this ever happened to you?
My bike! My bike is gone!
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
Sports fans around the world are mourning the death of Pete Rose, one of baseball's best and most controversial players. Rose passed away yesterday in Nevada at the age of 83. He played 24 seasons in the big leagues, mostly with the Cincinnati Reds. Rose retired as a Major League Baseball's all-time leader in hits, and his record still stands. But the league banned him for life in 1989 after it was revealed he gambled on baseball. The ban meant Rose was not allowed into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Rose spent years denying he bet on baseball before finally admitting it in 2004. His cause of death has yet to be released.
A new report on breast cancer should have women across the country paying attention. The number of cases is on the rise, but there is also some good news. Reporter Cynthia Mendoza is here with the latest and a look at the importance of a regular checkup.
Thanks, Marisa. A new report from the American Cancer Society found more women in the U.S. are being diagnosed with breast cancer, and cases have begun to rise among women younger than 50. The report found cases increased 1% each year from 2012 to 2021. The data estimates nearly 311,000 women will be diagnosed with this year alone. But this study doesn't just come with bad news. Overall breast cancer rates dropped nearly 45% between 1989 and 2022. This is thanks largely to advancements in treatment and detection. When broken down by race, Black women are more likely to die from this disease, even though they are less likely to develop it. If you or a loved one are nearing the age of 40, remember to schedule your mammogram every 2 years, or you can perform self-exams every month to check for any abnormalities. That's all I have. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Cynthia. I cannot believe that it has still not gotten cold yet.
I know, right? But it's officially October, so hopefully it will cool down soon. Our weather anchor Mauricio Ortiz-Segura is here to tell us what to expect later this week.
That's right, guys. Here we are looking across North Texas here at the beginning of October. Here we go. It's nice and warm still looking across all of North Texas. We see 84 in Bowie, 85 in Gainesville. A bit hot over a little further south, 88 in Fort Worth and 88 in Dallas. So, you know, we're staying in that consistent, very warm weather. But as we go looking now across the state, here we have a bit more of a difference here. As we go a little bit more north, we see it's actually getting pretty close to that fall weather, 77 in Oklahoma City and 66 in Amarillo. So if you are in the Panhandle, I guess maybe wear a sweater if you want to. But if you're still around here, then don't worry about that sweater just yet. But then as we go now to our full week forecast, look at that, 7-day forecast. It's going to be hot. Very, very hot. But then at night, it's going to be nice and chill. So don't worry about that too much. It's going to be nice and clear, as you can see. We're going to have some clouds, maybe Friday and Sunday, but nothing too crazy. So, you know, wear those hats, wear some sunscreen, and you try not to get sunburnt outside when there's nothing to cover you. That's all I got for you today of the full weather report. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Mauricio. UNT has decided to celebrate the start of October by participating in one of Germany's oldest traditions, called Oktoberfest. I got the chance to check out all of the exciting events happening last night on campus. Germany's oldest traditions, called Oktoberfest.
I think initially it was to celebrate a wedding for this Bavarian Prince, but like it grew into like a really big festival that a lot of places and UNT now will celebrate.
While Oktoberfest was originally celebrated much differently when it first started, UNT still keeps up the tradition of having food, games, and live polka music at the festival.
And the music, so good.
It's awesome, like I'm having a great time.
Traditionally, Oktoberfest lasts about 16 days, so if you didn't get to celebrate on campus, you can still partake in the most important tradition of having a beer, if you're over 21 of course. And while Oktoberfest has come to an end for UNT, it is still a fun tradition for those who celebrate and will continue to enjoy year after year. It was really a fun event to kick off the month.
Looks like a lot of fun, and it's not the only way to enjoy October. Coming up, we'll preview a fun Halloween event happening here in Denton tonight.
Plus, a big change to student loans just took effect. We'll explain how that could impact your wallet.
Hey Alex, this guy on the internet says he wants to give me money.
That sounds suspicious.
What do you mean?
Typically, strangers who promise you money on the internet have their own best interest in mind. They often use bounced checks, which will disappear shortly after depositing, but not before they've asked for some money in return.
So he doesn't really want to spoil me?
No.
Well, then what should I do?
The best way to handle it is to block and report the suspicious message, or even consult local law enforcement if you've already fallen victim.
So I guess we aren't going to Key West for spring break.
No.
There's no harm in wanting to have fun while in college, but it's easy to lose track of how much you've had. Apps like Drink Control and Alkadroid can help keep track of your consumption and blood alcohol levels. If you or someone else does drink too much, the signs of alcohol poisoning are as follows: pale skin, vomiting, confusion, low body temperatures, irregular breathing, blacking out, and is hard to wake up or cannot be woken up.
Dude, are you okay? Hey, what's wrong? Wake up.
It's an exciting time of year, but it's important to be responsible. If you suspect someone is suffering from alcohol poisoning, get help immediately. You will not get in trouble for seeking help if you are underage. For more info and resources, go to UNT's Division of Student Affairs.
If you have student loans, there is an important change that just went into effect that you need to know about. Our reporter Adriana Rivera is here to tell us more. Adriana?
Thanks, Marisa. It's been a year and a half since the pandemic officially ended, and for millions of borrowers here in the U.S., things are just now starting to go back to the way they were before COVID hit. Student loan payments resumed last year after a long pause, but the White House gave people with debt a one-year grace period if they missed a payment. That is no longer in effect as of yesterday. Although, last year, student loan services did not record any late or missing payments to the National Credit Bureaus, this upcoming week, it will be notified to the bureaus and could impact many student credit scores. Meanwhile, the fate of a separate student loan repayment program still hangs in the balance. There is a hearing set for 2 weeks from today that could determine if the SAFE plan stays or goes. If a federal appeal court strikes that program down, it could force many borrowers to pay bigger monthly payments in the future. That's all I have. Back to you guys at the desk.
Denton's staple costume shop, Rose's Costumes, made its way to the heart of the square in July. ntTV's Chris Goodwin got a look inside at how they are adjusting to their new home.
Starting out as a resale store in 1976, Rose's Costumes grew to be so much more than a store to play dress up. It has become a must-see whenever passing through Denton.
I mean, we literally cater to hundreds of schools, and the amount of students that come in here it's pretty cool, honestly, because we're a safe space for them. If you were ever a theater student, you know that sometimes you're the one who got picked on at school and things of that nature. When you come here, you're literally in the best place you could possibly be for them.
They recreate scenes from pop culture like Sweeney Todd's Barbershop, Belle's Ballroom, and even original set designs like a fallout shelter to accompany costumes you can buy or rent. The costume shop was greatly affected by the quarantine, being disconnected from their customers. In order to survive, the shop had to find another way to connect to the community.
We realized we have all this fabric,
we aren't able to let people in. There aren't any theater shows happening, and we have people who can make masks and patterns and reach out and see who needs these. And we had an opportunity to help, and we didn't want to make money off of it. We just wanted to make sure that people could be safe in a time that was really scary.
Beginning on Fry Street, the shop has now made its home on the square.
The bones of it, I think, and all the history that's here, even the ceiling tiles, it's all very, very old from the late 1800s, early 1900s. It already had so much character. So it was just inspiring immediately.
With Halloween season slowly creeping up, Rose Costume Shop is here to help you not just look the part, but also feel the part. You can rent out costumes just like this one and look your best.
Netzer said that the shop has been thriving since their move to Oak Street, so much so that they even brought back their thrift section. Tonight, the city of Denton is kicking things off for the 31 days of Halloween with a smashing event, the Pumpkin Drop. It'll be at Denton Civic Center, and it won't be the only thing happening around town tonight. The Discover Denton Visitor Center will be dressed up like the Ghostbusters Firehouse, and neighborhoods across the country will hold National Night Out, showcasing the relationships between first responders and their communities.
It was an exciting weekend full of great performances by our UNT volleyball and football teams.
Yeah, both games were so much fun to watch. Our sports anchor, Christian Bursich, is here to tell us all about it. Christian?
Lots of mean green sports over the weekend to make up for no Cowboys game this past Sunday. Join us after the break. UNT volleyball took down Tulane at home on Sunday to move to 5-8 on the season. Despite a tough start to the year, the Lady Mean Green are off to a 2-0 start in conference play. They'll hope to keep it going on the road against Charlotte this Friday. Mean Green football dominated Tulsa in a 52-20 win last Saturday to begin conference play. Quarterback Chandler Morris threw 5 touchdowns in the blowout win, moving himself to second in the nation in touchdown passes. As UNT continues this excellent season on the field, the stands seem to get more crowded every week. Jordan Lindsay got the chance to speak with UNT staff about growing ticket sales as our Mean Green continue their hot streak.
Ticket sales are on the rise since football season started. This season, Daku Stadium was able to reach a crowd of about 28,000, nearly twice the fans from last season's 17,000. UNT student Brian Beltran talks about why Daku Stadium creates such a great environment.
It's the students, the alumni, the fans, it's just everyone brought together so they're able to enjoy not just. So it's very fun to attend, see other alumni there from different years, and having overall a great experience.
As Daku Stadium grows in attendance, ticket offices are becoming busy every day. Sean Blackburn, Assistant Director of Ticket Sales, talks about how busy the offices have been.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely always busy, and that's how we like it, because, you know, that means we're doing something right. That means our football team is doing something right. They're winning games. People want to come out and they want to spend their Saturdays with us. So, I mean, definitely in those weeks leading up to our home games, it's a busy time, especially around these days. A lot of calls, a lot of emails coming in, but we've got a great team that stays on top of everything, and makes sure that we are handling and helping any fan that we can out, because we know we're busy for a reason. Like, these people are interested in coming out to the game, and they want to spend their weekends with us in some capacity. So it's definitely busy, but like I said, it's fun.
Mean Green football will rest up this week before traveling to Florida Atlantic October 12th to resume conference play. That's it for me. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Christian. A real-life treasure hunt is underway in Massachusetts. People are hunting for a treasure that made of 24-karat gold and is worth thousands of dollars. Reporter Danae Bucci talked to the people who made it all happen.
And a lot of people are like really happy that we created this.
Adventure awaits in Western Mass.
And so I really wanted to figure out how to make a treasure hunt where we could control this dramatic arc, and say it's definitely going to be solved in 3 weeks, but it's not going to be solved on day one.
This is the solid gold treasure project Skydrop creators Jason Roy and Tom Bailey have hidden somewhere in these woods. It's valued at about $26,000, and whoever finds it will also get a cash prize that's currently at $70,000. The real-life treasure hunt has been narrowed down to this search area. Every single day, the circle gets smaller and smaller, cluing hunters in on where this treasure is hidden. Right now, the diameter is just 35 miles wide and includes South Hadley, which is where I'm standing. Organizers tell me thousands of people are in on this treasure hunt.
Over 7,000 as of today. So it's been pretty popular.
There's a $20 entry fee, and half of that is added to the prize money. The treasure's exact location will be revealed on October 10th.
And people are racing to figure out where the treasure is located inside that shrinking circle, before it gets so small that everybody knows where it is.
The treasure has been discovered by a few creatures.
And yesterday there was a squirrel that almost looked like he almost dropped a nut into the treasure.
Right.
So we had a squirrel and a porcupine ran by one night. So those are the only mammals that have been near the treasure so far. Hopefully some human mammals will be near it sometime over the next week.
Whoever finds the treasure first must record and upload a video to YouTube. The creators say this treasure hunt is a way to add some fun into people's lives.
Yeah, we've all seen all these movies where somebody else is on a great adventure. And this is a great adventure that you can actually live in your own real life.
Landry, have you ever found any treasure in real life?
I don't think so, but I'd definitely like to at some point, because that would definitely be helpful.
I say we go treasure hunting after the show. And with that, thanks for watching ntTV News at noon.
Join us again tonight at 6 and tomorrow at noon here on North Texas Television.